Hello, and welcome to my Week 7 journal. I'm going to be talking to you about everything that was in that video that we watched. I thought it was quite insightful and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to, so let's get into it. So, bigger thinking about thinking big. So that focuses on a lot about classroom environment and student culture within the classroom. And really what it seemed like, what I gleaned from it, is it's really trying to make classes match how students will be in the future. So kind of like matching, trying to get students to be prepared for college and be prepared for the working in the future. So that's like one huge thing about it. It also is really trying to make students get in touch with their creative side and to do kind of the work and like projects and things on their own terms. It's also trying to get students involved in the learning process. So it's this kind of whole, to me, it felt very much like classroom environment. Like, having the teacher just do its best to help students be prepared for what they're going to see in the future. STEAM in the USA. So kind of the goal for STEAM is to create a well-rounded education for students. So it's not trying to be like, hey, students need to get a STEAM education. They need to be able to go and then go to college and then, get a degree in some sort of STEM or STEAM field. It's really trying to just be like, hey, we're trying to make students be more aware of, needed things. And to be honest, it's most of the jobs that are very much needed now and that are in huge competition and that we need to prepare our students for are these STEM areas. And so, the more we can get our students to understand and to look and to see these STEAM and STEM projects and things that we do in our classroom, the more they understand it and see it, maybe they might like it and want to go into that field. Because if they're not, if they've never been introduced into robotics, how do they know if they like it or not? It's a very difficult thing, but, it could be a thing that they could really much enjoy. So I think that's really important, is to really just help students find what they enjoy doing or that they're good at. So I think that's really the big important thing about STEAM in the USA. Next generation assessment. So I really like the idea of having this flexible and equitable assessments where, it's mostly just about students showing their competency, right? They're showing that, hey, I can do this. I can do what we've been working on, but maybe, I display it a little differently. Maybe I'm not really good at this, multiple choice or, whatever assessment that normally goes on, but, I'm really good at, giving a presentation or being able to discuss it or, doing the hard work in real life, things like that. So I think having some more flexible assessments really good and really helpful for students to show that they do know the stuff, because in my teaching career, I've had so many students who were really smart, really knew the stuff, and, were great at their different things that they've been learning in the units, but assessments they had a little bit of trouble with. So, I think it's really good for that. I do think it's incredibly important that all assessments and all work that's turned in or reviewed by teachers has really good feedback. I know they were talking about that too. And then assessments are important and should not be ignored. Because they're talking about too, there's two different sides where, it should only be assessments and that, there should be no assessments. But I think that assessments are important because what's the point of a student learning something if they're not gonna, show that they really learned it or really know about it? I think that there needs to be some sort of, it needs to build up into something, and assessments are a good thing about it to build up to. I also personally think that students' hard work and effort should be important to a student's grade because, a lot of the times, a student works so hard and, they can just fail or bomb one assessment, and it's a hard thing that kind of, that happens sometimes, and I think that students should be rewarded for the work and effort they're putting into something, because it's not like they're just being like, I'm ignoring it, not doing it. I think they should be rewarded for them, putting in their effort, putting in the next step. And finally, some connections I had to the video. So one of them is teachers letting go of the learning process a little bit. That was something that was really interesting during my time when I was student teaching. My master teacher, he was very kind of old school in the way where, he gave lectures, students took notes, and that's how the teaching went. And a lot of students do love that, but he was always kind of like, hey, I don't like, letting the students, take charge a bit, because he was always so worried that kids were going to take advantage of that and just kind of ruin the class. So he would always be completely against that. But from my experiences working as a teacher, and as well as during my student teaching when I took over, students really enjoyed that, and they the more you actually trusted them and and we're there to help them out. And you still have to give them, some like, hey, you can't do this, that, or that. But the more that you allow them to roam around and kind of take charge of what they want to learn and learn that stuff, they tend to do that, and they tend to really enjoy that, and they dive deeper than they would if you just told them what to learn. And then something that I really connected with, because I struggle with this from time to time, is having school be fun. I love making jokes and cracking jokes and having a really fun time with my students, but there's times where it's hard to have fun, and for myself too. Like, man, I have to teach this. Oh, this is not fun and not enjoyable for me. And I have to teach in this way. That's so frustrating. And so, just trying to find that fun back in school, because I can tell my students learn the best when I'm having fun, and vice versa. I'm having way more fun, and I'm more likely to really enjoy teaching something when my students are having fun too. So that's what I really connected with. Thanks for listening to me. Have a great week.